go. Finally.
How many minutes in, Naretsu?
About three and a half ish.
Of the 10-ish?
Of the 8, 9.
Ooh, that's getting out to the half. That's bad.
Yeah. So
maybe he was more in seasonal groups in the beginning, right? Or in groups that what was kept up on the seasonal things. And it was fun to watch together the seasonal things, but because his friends group and himself, no longer do strictly seasonal things, he doesn't need to, and there's no group enjoyment anymore, and therefore he only watches for himself.
Cyberpunk lol.
Yeah. But I do think there is hobbies. If you get into a hobby like watching sports, and you always do that in the bar with your buddies, then when the bar closes or one of your buddies dies from alcohol poisoning, and then maybe we shouldn't drink as hard anymore.
Like capitalize on the fact that people are probably searching for it again, So there is like that element to it, I think, where
they would never do that.
We would never do that.
You can't, because capitalizing on it is capitalism,
and that's bad, Yeah. But like, I think both consciously and subconsciously, people, especially YouTubers, I think we do think about that, right? Like you don't want to be like just. Well, anyway, let's get back to the video.
At certain points. Boredom more so stems from our mind having a lot of energy but nowhere to direct the energy, thus leading to a lack of interest and focus. That would explain why I can't sit still when I watch something at times. For those that feel bored with anime and manga, I think it's largely been due to an overexposure or an oversaturation of this medium of entertainment.
Alright, here's the thesis.
Yeah, here we go. Finally.
How many minutes in, Naretsu?
About three and a half ish.
Of the 10-ish?
Of the 8, 9.
Ooh, that's getting out to the half. That's bad.
Yeah. So basically, like, this idea of oversaturation, it's kind of like what I was saying before. It's like, one, you don't have, like, I know it's going to disagree, but you don't have to watch every single thing that comes out in the season if you don't want to.
I disagree.
Right? I disagree. You don't have to, because I only watch like a handful of things a season. I only go after the things that I want to watch, and then if there's something else that comes up later, like, I've been watching Immoral Guild, because that's been quite fun. I'll go back and watch something.
Hey, Naretsu, go watch Apothecary.
Yeah, the Apothecary thing. Yeah. Your new fun time anime. Yeah, like this is what I mean, right? Like, I can always go back and watch something. Like, I don't have to watch something seasonally in the moment, right? Because I tend to be very detached from the whole, you have to be part of the ongoing conversation about the show on the nebulous interwebs.
The Naretsu elitist is like, I fucking hate casual anime fans.
I fucking hate these casual.
So I have a accompanying theory, an idea that maybe he was more in seasonal groups in the beginning, right? Or in groups that what was kept up on the seasonal things, and it was fun to watch together the seasonal things, but because his friends group and himself, no longer do strictly seasonal things, he doesn't need to, and there's no group enjoyment anymore, and therefore he only watches for himself. And that might for him be less interesting than his group watching experience, and maybe he's comparing his group watching experiences to his solo watching experience that may have made it less interesting.
That's possible. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
But then he still he still watches anime for the conversation that never happens. So then it's time wasted, and then you go watch, and then, I'm watching this, but I already kind of feel what it's like, and it's just when somebody's going to ask, I'm going to say, it's kind of like the same. there's I can see a situation where he is going to pull up and watch a show alone, and he thinks looks like other show, and then he thinks, oh, what kind of video I'm going to make out of this? He's going to make watching anime a job. He's not interested in the concept.
Because if he's an AnyTube channel, then yeah, he has to like come up with.
And then he's not interested. And then he's not the conversation. Is a conversation that he already had because it's the same of this other show. So
well, there's a few things about this. One, it sounds like his problem is that he's an AnyTuber. But two, the second thing is I can't really wrap my head around being an anime fan, but only watching if you can talk to other people about that show.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
That is less to do with being an anime fan, but rather you want to socialize and you're just using anime as a topic. Of course, anime would become boring for you if you're doing something like that. You're watching some kind of show and be like, oh. But I don't get to talk about this, and so this is kind of boring. It's like, of course, you would be like that. But we're in the context of them being an AnyTuber. It's like, oh, I'm watching this show. Watching this show means I can't watch something else during the same given amount of time. Oh, because of that, I can't. What's it called? Get anything out of this. And I was like, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, because I don't have that problem at all, because I tend to watch and read, and like the only time I really actually like talk about what I'm watching or reading is either on the show with Ellie, right? Or, the odd time that we have like a VC call or whatever, like every now and then, and we'll like talk about all the shit that we've been up to, right? So it's kind of like, I don't have this like socialization thing tied to my enjoyment of watching anime. Like, I watch anime in my own time and my own pace as I want to watch it, right? So I don't. It makes it very hard to not necessarily empathize, but to understand, right? Because I don't have that same perspective of anime watching as a social activity, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the fact that they are doing it. I can't really understand the why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like I can get like, oh, this is a thing that people do, because I've seen people that do this, right? Like, not just him, but there are other people that are like, especially like on Twitter or whatnot, you'll encounter people like that where it's like they seem to only be watching anime as like a social activity to be able to talk about the fact that they're watching anime, or to be part of a fandom, or to be part of a social group, right? And it's very weird. I just think it's weird, right? Because I don't view media in that kind of context, right?
Like, well, I mean, that's not exactly why I say it's weird. I say it's weird because there's like billions of other things you can do, and you can find something that you truly enjoy and get the social interaction that you want. Yeah. It's like, why be an anime fan if that is
like video games would be a much better fucking, because there are plenty of social video games out there that you can play, like multiplayer games and whatnot. Even Minecraft, like straight up, like just get like on a Minecraft server and interact with people, like there's plenty of different activities. So that's what I agree with you. I think it's weird, but let's see where he's going with this. Let's see because now he's made like a thesis. Let's see what he has to say about it.
I've spent more hours reading and making videos about what I've read more than anything else. Add on top of that some of the personal mental health that I'm still sorting out, and it made for a rather chaotic relationship with what I do. Sure, a lot of factors could be attributed to the nature of being a content creator, but even if I didn't do YouTube and I still had all these hours invested into anime and manga, I think I would still largely feel the same. One of the main issues is, despite the versatilities that stories can have, many times we lean towards the things we're familiar with and what we know to enjoy. The negative to this is, once we've had enough of the same sort of thing, our minds proactively think we have it all figured out. The tropes and story arcs we've already been through, we expect and predict to be the same.
Yeah. Do you pick it up on that too, Unknown? Where it's like he's obviously cutting out like his breaths and stuff, but the transition between cuts is not good. Like his transition between like the different times he's cut out like a pause or a breath or whatever. I think it's just like he needs to add like maybe like a second and a half, or maybe like even just like half a second of pause.
Yeah, I mean,
cuts.
I think it's like the hotkey is Shift L, but I always like just mute that time and then cut it in half instead of like just take it all out there.
Yeah, because it's like a harsh cut. Yeah, it's like he's doing like a harsh cut where I think he needs to do
used
like
to
a
do
better...
the harsh cut, but I found out just how bad that sounds. So instead I mute it and then cut it in half.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I was busy drawing in face, so I wasn't able to.
Yeah, I saw you having fun on the screen.
Cyberpunk lol.
Yeah, but I do think there is hobbies. If you get into a hobby like watching sports, and you always do that in the bar with your buddies, then when the bar closes or one of your buddies dies from alcohol poisoning, and then oh damn, maybe we shouldn't drink as hard anymore, and then the bar closes anyway because they did put pure poison in the alcohol, cocaine to get you addicted.
I agree with this. Anime is poison.
Nah, this is not what we're going.
Anime is exactly the same. Yeah. But no, I get what you're saying. It's like there are definitely times when the social activity connection thing again.
Yeah, and then of course the point is the bar closes. You're not watching it with your mates anymore, and then you watch it on the couch in front of the TV, and it's just a match you have seen before. With the same old players, with different, same number, same position, same tactics, different names on the teams. But you've all seen it before, and it's exciting when your favorite team gets into a finals. But everything that isn't a final is just boring. That's a very reasonable, I think, progression of a hobby. Of watching something together, and then you transition it into watching it alone. Although, as I really think it's his content creation that is the problem here. That he in his content creation, the fear of missing out on the hot new thing, that he watches everything, and he's thinking about, and he has to watch everything.
How can I? Yeah. So I'm not familiar with his content, so I can't. I'd have to go and look at his channel and see what he covers and when he covers it, and if he's chasing the.
Well, it's not
trees.
even if you're even if you're not chasing it, you're thinking about it. That's kind of the thing.
Yeah. I would agree that I think both consciously and subconsciously you do think about like, okay, when would be a good time to talk about this particular thing? Like, for instance, like if we were like. I don't know what would be a good, like, let's say Fire Force actually would be a good example, because Fire Force has drama that comes, it's like a wave.
It's
like,
still going to this day.
It keeps coming back. Like
it doesn't go out. It keeps.
It doesn't go away.
Like a fire. It's a fire that burns.
But let's say, for instance, we wanted to do like a Fire Force video, right? Like if there was like a Fire Force video we wanted to cover, it would be better for us to wait until the drama picks back up again. Like you have like another like tweet that goes semi-viral or whatever about it, because then we could like capitalize on the fact that people are probably searching for it again. So there is like that element to it, I think, where
they would never do that.
We would never do that.
You can't, because capitalizing on it is capitalism,
and that's bad, Yeah. But like, I think both consciously and subconsciously, people, especially YouTubers, I think we do think about that, right? Like you don't want to be like just chasing the trends all the time, but you also don't want to like
miss out.
You don't want to miss out. There is that FOMO there. So I agree.
So I've already felt personally the streamer poison when I was streaming my Dungeon Keeper, playthrough, revenging my youth, never finished the game.
Also, I'm gonna refill my drink. So
I was revenging my youth because I never finished Dungeon Keeper 1. 2 is worse than one. Never finished it, and I was streaming every other day or so for a week, and then I felt, well, I like Dungeon Sphere project got an update. Should I stream that? My fresh impressions of the big new update, and that's the poison. Considering not playing a game, waiting for it, and waiting to stream your fresh first impressions of the new update. That's the poison I felt, and I even made a separate save for the first. I considered, should I wait for my fresh playthrough impressions for the stream? Then I waited for. Well, I'll just have a separate save for it. That's still the poison I felt, and then I went way past on my personal save to the point I don't even want to go back to that early stream save. But it's still, that is the manifestation of the streamer poison. Waiting for to play something you like for it to stream.
Sounds, I would say, a little bit of a skill issue, because a better content creator could make anything into good content that is current.
No, I can stream Dyson Sphere Project right now, but the point is that I felt a tingle to wait, not play it right now for myself, but wait for it to stream.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Same for them.